Season 5 is finally here, and with that comes all new settings. Okay, maybe not all new settings, but they always end up breaking something, so we gotta go into the settings, change it all up, and fix it. So first off, we're gonna talk about graphics settings to make the game look the best while giving you the highest FPS. Then we're gonna talk controller settings, because that's what I like, and then audio settings, which a lot of people completely ignore. But if you have the right audio settings, you'll get so many more kills just by hearing exactly where the enemies are. So let's get into it. Now, I always like to say I start off with a PS5 controller. That's what I play with, no back buttons, nothing like that. So if you play with a controller like this Xbox, PlayStation without back paddles, you're at the right video, because we're going to be using settings that I use to jump shot, drop shot, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you guys are going to like the controller settings. But let's get into the graphic settings first. Now, this update came out and my game completely broke. I tried to change my settings. I go here, and every time I try to go there, it says fetching online profile. And if you guys have this issue as well, there's a little easy workaround. Instead of going to the right to get to your settings, press L1 and go to the left, and you're able to actually go that way. Whenever it tries to load up the social menu and stuff like that, it just glitches out and stuff. Like I said, every update brings something broken. But we're gonna get into the graphic settings first, and I'm playing on not on PlayStation. I used to play on PlayStation. I'm playing on PC, so if you guys are playing on PC, definitely watch this part as well. If you're not, I mean, it's all good. So first off, we'll go into view. This is for console and PC. You guys could all check this out. Field of view, I play on 120. Now, if you're having FPS issues, if you're not getting the fastest FPS and your game's like glitching out and stuff like that, lower this down to like 110, 105. You should be good. I just like 120. I find it really nice. ADS field of view, I play on affected. Weapon field of view, I put on wide. Third person field of view, I leave it at 80. I don't play any third person mode. And vehicle field of view, I don't play Warzone or anything that involves vehicles, so I leave it at default. First person camera movement, all of these you're gonna want to put to 50. Okay, you don't want these up at all. Your camera's gonna be moving a lot. It's gonna be weird. You're gonna be shaking a lot. Gunfights are gonna be a lot more shaky. Put this at 50. It's the actual minimum you could go to. I wish it could go to 0, but it is what it is. Default spectator camera, game perspective. So I mean, that's it for view right there. Pretty simple. Quality, I put on custom, obviously. Now render resolution, because I'm going for the highest FPS. I don't care if my game looks a little worse, so I put it to 100. Then I put the upscaling to Fidelity FX. This is the one you want to set it to. I mean, the other ones are all right, but Fidelity FX, just for some reason, is the best there is. The anti-aliasing, I put it to Filmatic SMAAT2X. The quality, I put to normal. I mean, you could actually lower this as well if you want. It doesn't really make too much of a difference, but I don't put it to high or anything like that. And then video memory scale 85. Now texture resolution, I leave this very low. I can play on low, very low. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but I find very low gives me the highest FPS. I'll get 250, 260 FPS at very low, whereas on low, I'll get like maybe 210, 220. And if I put it all the way to high, I'm only gonna get like 120, 100 FPS and stuff like that. So very low is the best for FPS. If you want your game to look nicer, definitely put it higher, but you'll do a lot better at very low. Texture, filter, and anisotropic, I hate saying that word. I put it to normal. Nearby level of detail low. I mean, everything I pretty much put to low, so if I just skip over it, just know it's on low. Clutter, draw, distance, long. Particle quality low. Bullet impacts on. Persistent damage layers on. Shaders low, definitely, because this will take up a lot. It doesn't say it takes up a lot, but it will take up a lot of FPS. You'll probably lose like 2 or 3 FPS just by putting that higher. Tessellation off. On-demand texture streaming on, and I set it to, I believe, 1. Yeah, so the daily download limit is 1 gig, so it's not bad. Oops, my bad. Back to graphics, and then yeah, streaming quality low, volumetric low, water quality, we put it to water caustics and wave wetness. Shadow map resolution low. Shadows are definitely something you want to run on low. If you leave these high, you're going to be losing a lot of FPS. It doesn't mention it, but shadows is something you definitely want to put low, and then ambient occlusion off, low. I mean, guys, everything I put to the lowest, and here's something that whether you're on console or PC, you want to have depth of field on, world motion blur, weapon motion blur, both of those you want off, and film grain you want at 0. If you put these on and then you put the film grain on, first off, weapon motion blur, your gun's going to be like really blurry and stuff if you're moving fast, so you won't be able to exactly stay on target. And if you have world motion blur on, again, if you're moving fast and there's someone sitting in the window, he's just going to blur in with the rest of the background. You're not going to see him that well. So make sure you turn all of those off. Now let's get into the controller settings, because this is something that I think everybody will like. So aiming input device, obviously I'm using a controller. Now I don't edit my button layout, I leave it, well I do, you'll see, but it's all here. I don't actually go into here to edit it. Well, actually it is, okay, there it is, my bad. All right, so button layout preset, I leave it on stick and move. Now stick and move allows me, instead of pressing X, I don't want to press that, I'm able to use my joystick, which by the way, I use a Control Freak, and if you want one, you guys can save 10% as well. Use code iDoNick and save yourself 10% on Control Freaks. They're going to help with your accuracy a lot, but that's not the point of this video. The Control Freak doesn't matter, you don't need one, but if you want to play a little better, to get one for sure. So X is to jump. I jump with this instead. So every time I take a jump shot, I'm able to remain accurate. I could actually move my gun around and remain accurate. When jump shotting, you could switch it as well if you want to drop shot instead with that button. It's cool as well. I just find jump shots in this game a little better because if someone's aiming at your torso and you jump, they're automatically going to shoot your legs, which deals a lot less damage. If someone's aiming at your torso and you drop shot, chances of them hitting the head as you're going down is a lot higher, and they could get the kill a lot faster. So I don't like drop shotting for that reason. And I also play on flipped. So instead of shooting with the bottom triggers, I shoot with and aim with the top triggers. And the reason I do this is because it takes like just a couple of milliseconds faster to shoot at an enemy. But in a game like COD, where you die in less than a second sometimes, every millisecond counts. So if you could shoot with the top ones rather than the bottom ones, you'll play a lot nicer as well. It takes some time to get used to, but it is what it is. And then Warzone as well, I'm going to play on flipped. Custom button layout off. So this is all off right here. There's no need to actually go ahead and touch that. Now back here we got bumper ping off, stick layout preset default. I mean, if you could play Southpaw or anything like this, props to you. I can't use any of those. Controller vibration, I leave this on off. A lot of people ask me why I play with this off, and the reason is I just don't like my fingers vibrating. I find like when as I'm shaking this, I'm stuttering. That's weird. I find when my hand is shaking, my thumb is also shaking, and right here on the joystick, it might move slightly and stuff like that with the shake, very slightly, but it does make a difference in the game, in your aim as well. So I turn that off, and it feels a lot better. Trigger effect off. Horizontal stick sensitivity, I leave it at 10, and my vertical sensitivity, I put up to 11. I find this for me is perfect. I'm not going to tell you guys to copy exactly this. You got to find what's right for you. Sensitivity is all personal, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, you got to use 6. Oh, you got to use 12. No, you got to use what you're comfortable with. I would start low and slowly go higher and see where you feel the best. Now, ADS sensitivity multiplayer, this is when you're aiming down sights. I put this at 95 because I find the slower it is, and well, not too slow, obviously you don't want to put it to like 0.60 or something. The 0.95 is perfect because if the enemy's running across your screen, you'll be able to like glue right onto them and stick with them. You won't overshoot, you won't undershoot, you'll actually be able to kind of stick with them, and it helps out with the aim assist as well. And we're playing on controller, so we do have aim assist, and don't knock it, man. Pretty much everything else, not important. These is all, it's all about what you guys like right here. This is all personal preference, so I'm not going to go into that. Now in the advanced target aim assist, obviously I'm leaving it on. Aim assist type, I play on default. I don't feel a need to run any of these. When the game first released, Black Ops was the best, but I like default right now. And then aim response curve type, I leave it at linear, or however you want to pronounce it. ADS sensitivity, transition timing, instant, you definitely want to put that at instant. And then input dead zones, I'm going to leave the left stick at 5, the right stick at 5, or 0.5 I should say. The left stick max at 0.99, the right stick max at 0.99, the left trigger and the right trigger at 0. You want to leave these definitely at 0 because it's a lot better. Controller orientation up, don't put it to down or left or anything like that. That's just weird because like you're not playing like this, you're playing like this. You're not playing like this or like this. Just leave it up. You're good at that. Everything else here, I don't think I touched. I think these are all just what the default was. You guys could go ahead and pause it if you need to. I'm pretty sure this is mostly the default settings right here because I didn't mess with that too much. You don't need to. There's no need to actually do that. But now, guys, I want to get into the actual audio settings because that's really important. And a lot of people just always ignore audio settings. They don't worry about it and stuff. But if you want to hear footsteps louder, if you want to hear gunshots louder, if you want to hear grenades and all that louder, even the enemy's AI character talking, like the enemy's character talking, not the enemy talking in his mic, but his character in game, when they do those call outs like, oh, we got someone at the window, you want to be able to hear that nice as well. You want to hear the enemy saying that as well. So we're going to go into that, and audio settings is probably, I'd say it's slightly more important than controller settings. So Audio mix, I have it to headphone bass boost. Obviously, it's nice. Your bass boost is good. I'm using these. These are Astro A50s, by the way. So if you guys want, they're a little pricey. I wouldn't recommend them to everyone. They're a little expensive, but if you have the extra cash for it, definitely get some Astro A50s. If not, I'm not even sure which ones are good right now, so I won't recommend any headset. Astro A50s is what I use, and I like it at that. Default system device for my speakers, headphones, obviously, and then voice chat. So voice chat on. I don't see why not. I don't know why you would do. Actually, let's talk master volume here. This one's really important. So the game music volume, the actual music when you start a match, when the match ends, any sort of music that's playing, you want to set this to 30 because if it's too loud, it's gonna block out other sounds like footsteps, enemy voice chat, all that. Well, not voice chat, but enemy AI chat, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna block that out. So you want to put this to 30. Dialogue volume 100. You want to hear everything the enemies call out. Effect volume 100. You want to hear the grenades. You want to hear the gunshots. You want to hear the footsteps, all that kind of stuff you want to hear. Voice chat volume, I set it to 50 because sometimes I'm playing with friends, but they're annoying. They don't shut up. So I set this to 50 so I don't have to hear them too loud and I can still hear the game. Cinematic music volume, this one's all right to set to 100. There's no difference to it. And I think I almost hiccuped right there. That was weird. Word tracks volume. This is, I think, when you're in the vehicles and stuff, so I don't really go in vehicles. I could just leave that at 100. No need to play with that. And then voice chat, like I said, I got it on. And then proximity chat on, so you could hear the enemies as well. That's when you like kill them and stuff. You want to be able to like hear them and whatnot. And in Warzone, if you're close to someone, you could hear them as well. And then default system device, obviously. So I put mine to push to talk. I have to hold down a button anytime I want to talk, and that's because I'm recording a lot. I don't want people on my team to like get annoyed at me talking all the time, talking to you guys in the video, and then they're just like, yo, who's this guy talking to? So I just leave it on push to talk. If I want to talk to them, I talk to them. And then microphone level, I set mine to 100 just in case it's too low. I want everyone to hear me. This is if your mic is too loud, you definitely will put that down if your mic is super loud. And then you could test it, obviously, no need to. And pretty much, yeah, that's some good audio stuff right there. And that's it. But the most important thing I would say is making sure that you have all of this set properly right in here, this master volume. So you could copy exactly what I have: 30, 100, 150, 100, 100. It's not bad. It's actually really nice. And then the headphones, bass boost. So if you have a good headset, you'll do all right, guys. Trust me, it'll be not too bad. That's gonna be it for the settings video. If you guys are enjoying season 5 so far, let me know down in the comments below. Let me also know what your KD currently is now that we're all the way in season 5. Thank you guys for watching. Sub to the channel if you guys are new around here. Drop a like on this one. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.